And also, just yes, thank you to Warners for sponsoring the Walking Festival this year. A really useful help there. And don't forget that after this conference, you're welcome to stay for a tour of the Bembridge Coast facilities if you wish to do so. And for those of you who wish to share the pearls of wisdom we may be hearing today and to into social media, as you should be, the Twitter hashtag is #IOWTAT. Quality is remembered long after the price is forgotten. That was from Henry Royce of the Rolls-Royce Partnership. And this year our conference topics will focus on quality. Quality of the product, quality of the experience, and quality of our welcome. I'm therefore pleased to welcome Quality in Tourism as our conference sponsors. This organisation not only offers a cost-effective, safe, clean and legal assessment scheme for tourism businesses, but will also advise on how to drive profits and create a more sustainable quality business. Tourism businesses need to understand their marketplace and keep up to speed with tourism trends across the world before they even consider improving their own product. And we'll be hearing from Patricia Yates, Strategy and Communications Director for Visit Britain, with what the future might hold for the UK's tourism economy. We also need to recognise and understand the best markets to attract, to enjoy our product. The island is well placed to take advantage of the accessible tourism market. And Tim Gardner and Ray Veal of Tourism for All will be telling us how businesses can benefit from that valuable holiday sector. It's obviously the day for tales about a certain gentleman. Some 40 years ago, I joined Ladbroke Holidays as a management trainee. And the news yesterday of Sir Ken Dodd's passing reminded me of when I spent a week working at Caesar's Palace in Luton in 1975. My job was to take the basket meals to the dressing rooms backstage for the booked performers. On this occasion, it was Ken Dodd. As I delivered his supper, he asked me about my plans for a career in the holiday industry. And I remember to this day what he said. What a great job, helping people to enjoy their holidays. You'll be like me, working in the happiness industry. I thought, I remember that quote right to this day, particularly brought back obviously on the sad news yesterday. And hence, our slogan, of course, with Visit Isle of Wight today, pure island happiness. Visitors constantly tell us that a holiday on the island provides a sense of happiness rarely found elsewhere around the British coast. And that's why they fall in love with our island home, and what makes 90% of them come back regularly. The memory of a holiday can be as much about the people they have met as to the places they have visited. NFU Mutual Assurance has joined with Visit Isle of Wight as our industry communications partner, and they'll be providing some additional tips as to how to retain and encourage staff to act as your business ambassadors. Getting to and around the island is probably the most talked about subject by island residents, even more so than the weather. We want our visitors to get out and explore as much of the island as possible. Zoe Stroud, as part of the Sustainable Travel team, will be telling us the latest initiatives in persuading visitors and residents to drive less and see more. A real growth trend for 2018 is the power that the mobile is playing in the booking of holidays. A couple of years ago, major purchases were limited to computers or tablets. In 2017 and 18, around 35 to 40% of all holidays are now booked entirely on a phone. Once on holiday, the phone becomes a reference item for destination ideas, places to visit or eat, maps, walks and so on, and then becomes central in piecing together their holiday story on social media. So Wi-Fi has become one of the key requisites for accommodation, particularly for people booking a stay at a self-catering cottage. And we'll be hearing from Simon Tregonning about his experience with classic cottages and the trends in the ever-growing self-catering sector. In 2018, more people are also looking for the authentic and the secluded. They're looking for places that others are unlikely to have seen yet, and which offer the ultimate in escapism from everyday life. British holidaymakers appear to be getting much more active on holiday, as beach breaks move down from 4th position to 5th, and being overtaken by wildlife holidays and walking holidays. In Visit Isle of Wight research, over 70% of our visitors give the island's wonderful countryside as the main reason for coming over here. Could recognition of our dark skies add to this appeal? Joel Bateman from the island's Area of Outstanding Natural Beauty Partnership will be telling us more. And finally, are we seeing the end of mass tourism destinations? With length of holiday stay reducing, not just for domestic holidays, but for breaks across the world, it's time to develop new business models which focus on high value rather than mass throughput. Who better to answer that than Dr. Tim Gale, Senior Tourism Lecturer at Bournemouth University. So, a packed programme, hopefully not too sedentary, and I hope you can manage to stay to the end, as I know that Visit Isle of Wight's new Managing Director, Will Miles, will be making some closing remarks before we finish at 2 p.m. For our island to have a successful economic future, we need strong political representation in government. Our MP, Bob Seeley, has sent us this message.
Hello, I'm Bob. Welcome to the conference. I'm sorry I can't be with you in person. I'm up in Parliament, although I'm here on the island now. By the time you see me on your screen, I'm going to be up in Parliament, where there's lots to be done, trying to get a better deal for the Isle of Wight. And clearly when Parliament's sitting, I need to be there. A few things to mention to you today. The critical one is that we all know how important tourism is to the Isle of Wight's economy, and I really hope it's a successful day, because I want us collectively to be taking the visitor economy and tourism to the next level on the island. Now, what does that mean? I think we need to build a stronger visitor economy. We need to get people to stay more, and we need to get people to spend more as well. There are certain things that we're doing really well on the island. And there are certain things I think we need to do a bit more of. And of the stuff that's going really well, I think we've got a great foodie business and a foodie sort of tourism market, and that's growing. We've got some fantastic restaurants, fantastic pubs, which is awesome. PO41 is one of my favourites in Yarmouth, best coffee outside London. The Taverners pub in God's Hill, always a favourite, and there's lots of other great places as well. So well done to all those foodie businesses that are doing so well. Stuff you could be doing better. Cultural front. The island is one of the most unique, has one of the most unique landscapes in Britain. We have an extraordinary relationship with many of the greatest artists and poets that this country has produced. And yet I think over the years we should have done more with our cultural offer. Now I know our museums are going to be working together more to try to get a better offer, to work collectively, to become stronger and to become more than the sum of their parts. And I'm going to be doing what I can to support them, because it's important not only for the visitor economy, but the cultural offer. I think it's great for regeneration in the round as well. What else? Really want to push outdoor pursuits as well. Riding and cycling and the surfing and the paragliding and walking. All these pursuits generally enjoyed by younger people, employed, they've got more money to spend, and they're the tourists that we want to try to capture an interest in the island when they're in their 20s, when they're in their 30s, and so they have a continual relationship with the Isle of Wight, and they discover us not when they're 40 and 50 and 60, but they discover us when they're much younger as well. What else? I think that's probably about it from me. I want the Isle of Wight to be Britain's festival island, to be Britain's foodie island, frankly, to be Britain's fun island. And the more that you can make that happen, and the more that we can work together to make the island one of the most, if not the most unique visitor destination in Britain, the better. So good luck today. Thank you for everyone for organising the conference, and I'll see you all soon. Thank you.
Okay, well, thank you very much for Bob for that message from him as an MP for the Isle of Wight. I just noticed his lips were slightly out of sync there.